8 anime characters who gave up their immortality for love. Some allowed themselves to be killed, in effect giving up their mortality of their own free will, while others literally gave up their mortality. The definition of immortality can, at times, be elusive, pointing to lack of aging, powers of regeneration, or pure deathlessness. Many anime characters across all genres fall into one of these scenarios, categorically deeming them immortal for whatever reason. Some are undead vampires or unkillable mages protected by strange magics, and some are artificial beings with enhanced durability and powers of resurrection. Some allowed themselves to be killed, in effect giving up their mortality of their own free will, while others literally gave up their mortality and succumbed to natural processes. There are numerous immortal anime characters who chose to die and relinquish their immortality due to love. 8. Zirif just wanted to be killed by his beloved brother, Natsu, in Fairy Tail. Zirif never wanted his immortality. It was a curse bestowed upon him for his unorthodox and taboo magical practices trying to bring back his dead brother. So, it makes sense that he wanted to get rid of it altogether. His love for Mavis Vermilion is eventually what allowed him to achieve this. The bond between Mavis and Zirif was strong enough to break the curse of contradiction on its own. Zirif was finally able to die thanks to their love. 7. Castlevania's Dracula let himself be killed for the love of his family. When Dracula's wife died, he turned villainous. He had been a villain before, but Lisa had changed him. He turned away from his son and all that he had accomplished when his wife was alive to get revenge on those he blamed for her death, that being all of humanity. Eventually, his son, Alucard, an incredibly powerful character in his own right, was forced to team up with Trevor Belmont and Sypha Belnades to stop Dracula. Their plan almost failed. However, Dracula was reminded of his love for his son, and subsequently his love for his late wife, and in his regret, he stopped fighting long enough for Alucard to kill him. 6. In Castlevania, Lenore stepped into the sun, heartbroken over Hector and his plan. As a vampire, Lenore could have lived for as long as she would have liked. But when she was captured, there was only one thing she wanted to do. She stepped out into the sunlight, giving up her immortal life and allowing herself to die. Hector's betrayal as well as her perceived lack of purpose were two other contributing factors for this decision. She loved her sisters, and in a way she loved Hector. So, the heartbreak of her perceived loss of usefulness and that of Hector's betrayal were too much for her to bear. 5. Fullmetal Alchemist's Greed was immortal before allowing himself to die for friendship. The homunculi can be killed, but it is extremely difficult, so they are often considered immortal, though they seek true immortality. The right circumstances must be met in order for them to be truly defeated. Greed proves this well. However, greed is also responsible for the death of another immortal, Father. When he joined the protagonists, he decided to go out with a bang, taking Father with him. He allowed himself to be absorbed by Father, leaving Father open and vulnerable enough for Ed to kill and thus killing Greed in the process. 4. Yuko Ichihara gives up her life to save the clones' lives in Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicles. Yuko Ichihara was a witch who existed in a timeless space. She watched over the characters of Tsubasa as well as those of XXX Holic. Her magic centered around a notion of equal compensation. Wishes could be granted, but an equivalent price must be paid. When she wanted to save the clones, Yuko had to give up something equally important. So, she allowed herself to die. Though she lived in a dimension between time and space, she gave up her shop and her life for the love of the clones. 3. Ebisu died trying to help Ayakashi in Noragami. Ebisu is a god with true immortality. When he dies, he is reincarnated as a child. However, he does not retain most of the memories and experiences of his former lives. Ebisu seemed a villain for a while. He was trying to help Ayakashi, after all, but his reasoning for doing so came from a place of compassion. Still, he did commit many crimes against the gods. So, he was sentenced to death. Yato and his friends tried to save Ebisu from the other gods as best they could, but in the end, Ebisu died so that the others would not have any more trouble. He was grateful for and touched by their friendship. 2. Kurama died helping Naruto win in Boruto. The relationship between Kurama and the Jinchuriki, Naruto Uzumaki, has always been complicated. When the nine-tailed fox spirit was unleashed on the Hidden Leaf Village, it killed Naruto's parents. It was then sealed away within Naruto, causing him to be ostracized and also to experience painful transformations that hurt both himself and those around him. However, Naruto and Kurama eventually began to work together. By the end of Naruto, Shippuden and into Boruto, they had amazing synergy. In helping Naruto win a fight in Boruto, Kurama died from overexertion of chakra. While it is unclear exactly how Kurama felt about Naruto, his actions seem to say that he had a great fondness for the shinobi. 1. Yuki Kuran gives away her immortality when Zero dies in Vampire Knight. In Vampire Knight, protagonist Yuki Cross was a pure-blood vampire caught in a love triangle with another pure-blood vampire, Kaname Kuran, and vampire hunter Zero Kiryu. By the end of the series, the three had a long and intertwined history. She even has children with both men, Ai Kuran and Ren Kiryu. However, when Zero died, Yuki was devastated. She gives up her immortality by giving Kaname her heart. The result is her death, but it is also Kaname's new chance at feeling human emotions.